All right. Some technical difficulties here tonight, as we've got cars on the grid here. This is the RIL IndyCar Schaeffer's series. This is round 9 from Long Beach, and I'm joined by Gary Gotso. As if you want to fill some time there, Gary, while I get everything set up.
Not caution fest, but a full course caution in the first couple laps as the track's blocked and it's taken out a number of cars. So we'll see if the Reddit league here is going to be any different as we're getting ready to come to green.
All right, we've got you on there. We're about to go green here. Do not have sound currently on for the cars. We'll try to get that corrected once we go green here.
And we are green.
Isaac Morris on push to pass.
Yeah, he's trying to put some distance between him and Caleb on the outside. They're coming down at turn 1, side by side.
And Caleb gives it up. Where did we have Dakota back here at about 8th, our championship leader at the moment?
Yeah, it's probably a calculated move on Caleb's part, knowing that Isaac is not really in this for the championship.
Yeah,
there's a car sliding, and that might have been the Dakota in the back there.
Yes, yeah, Dakota and Isidro also had an issue. Now Isidro's around Dakota. I think we had some other things going on way back there, though. And apologies for our technical difficulties going here tonight. But we are about to finish our first lap here at Long Beach.
So a good start by James Watson, P5. Besides Caleb, he's the only other full-timer in the first 7 spots, really. I think Schlegel hasn't made all the races this year. Haller has. So really, it's Haller, Watson, and Bincy are the full-time racers in the series right now that are up at the front there. Most everyone else kind of part-timers and are just here for this race. And I think Sanders might have had an issue coming through the fountain.
Yeah, I saw some pieces coming off a car, but I'm not 100% sure if that was him or... Let's see here. Investigating front wings. Isaac's checking out. No, everybody's looking good on their front wings. So I don't know if that was like a side pod piece or something came off these cars.
He must have got really, really close to the wall there, and he might have a slightly damaged wing. I'm not sure. And that would be the right front. Actually, no, excuse me, the left front. You might want to take a look at that again. It might be at a weird angle.
Yeah, I'm going to try to work on getting the sound of the cars working
all right
now.
So Morris that time by purple 108.552. He's putting up laps that are just about a second slower than what he was qualifying at. So he's keeping up a torrid pace here. A lot of people didn't even qualify at a lap that fast. So some of the people in the back are going to really struggle to keep up while this lead group kind of separates itself.
Yeah, I see. Also, Donchak is in the pits. Lewis Woodall's driving around nose cone, having some issues. He's heading into the pits as well. Christian Jasper had a early pit, it looks like.
So they do get a fast repair here because it's a road course. Normally on ovals, they do not get the fast repair here in the Schaeffer series. So those guys will be able to exercise their fast repair and get back underway. But unfortunately, they got a long ways to go. In order not to use that, not to make any more mistakes or have to make a pit for repairs because it's going to be costly. We're only 4:40 in.
Lap 4 of 40. Caleb Benzie running P2. Gavin Sanders about a second back from him. Julian Alton making a start. I know he kind of, I don't know if it's related to Nashville or something, the race over the weekend, but he was kind of running some Long Beach today. And I mentioned, hey, our RIL is running Long Beach tonight. And, I reminded him, and he got out here and is going to run it. So
I saw him running some Chicago street course. He posted it on Twitter. And how unhappy he was about whoever was hosting the series was about 6 seconds a lap slower than everybody else.
Wow.
That is a very tough course in an IndyCar. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, so there's been talk in various series about running that course, and I've talked to the admins over here as well in RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar series, and it's just kind of one of these tracks that I think it can run IndyCars in a league. It just needs some time to be in the service and everybody get used to it, and also kind of build setups for it. Because if you remember, in a particular league, we had some issues with Long Beach having only been released a few weeks prior to that league running it. So everybody that's running Long Beach nowadays, obviously it's a street course. It's concrete canyon. It's going to always have some issues, but we're getting through these much more successfully than we previously had been.
Yeah, a little bit more time to bake, and more people will probably use it. I don't see that, maybe not next season the Schaeffer Cup, but maybe the season after that if they want to do I've seen some leagues actually kind of do a Chicago doubleheader where they'll split it up. They'll do a partial event at the road course, and then they'll go off to Chicagoland and do the other half of the event there. Then that caters also to the guys who, like me, who are strong on the ovals and not so much strong on the road courses.
That's right. So currently we still have no car sound. I'm still working on it for everybody here. We want car sounds.
Oh, here's, we got Gavin Sanders taking a look on the inside of Caleb Benzie coming into turn one. Yep. That's going to be tight. And he gets the position. So once again, I wonder if Caleb said, this is a guy that's not playing full-time in the series. Maybe I'm just going to let this guy go. Because right now, Caleb Benzie is a winner in class, so to speak.
That's right, and you have to imagine that Dakota back here in 8th is rooting for every driver to get around Caleb up there. And,
that and James Watson himself. I mean, the more that people pass Caleb, they just kind of fall into his clutches as well, and he's sitting P3 in the points, and we haven't really talked about the points because we had to go directly on the air.
I can bring him up here.
There you go.
Dakota in the lead, 302 points. James Watson in P2. We don't want to forget about James. 50 points down. He's our turbo champion from a season ago. Caleb Benzie, 228 down. And the reason we talk Caleb up so much is because he is, the two-time
defending
RIL champion here.
Two-time reigning and defending champion.
That's right. Michael Holler in P4 and Isidro in P5. So, we'll get back to our...
we got Caleb is now under attack directly by Julian Altena now, and Julian has now put himself in a position to look like he might be able to pull off a pass here shortly after the fountain area.
I don't know if I said this, Gary. We do have sound on the broadcast now. So.
All right.
Yes, the car sounds on the broadcast. That's what we want. So. You can apologize to all viewers out there. You were sitting here, Gary, in the broadcast booth, and I don't know if you heard any sounds coming from my end, but there was a fan that started making noises. So that wasn't good. Luckily, got everything going, though.
And Julian is kind of looking for a way around Caleb right now. He's taking a wide turn, trying to get the undercut on the exit there of the hairpin. Ended up costing him some time. Caleb now pulls out to about a half second lead there, and as that will kind of shrink up as they get down to turn 1.
So, because we got cut short a little bit with our pre-race there, so pit stop wise here tonight, this is the shortest race of the season that we're going to do. It's about 80 miles. That'll put us at 1 pit stop. We are really, really wide open, so it's 40 laps. If you have the tires to do it, you can make 25, 26 laps here. Whether they have tires or not is another question. They do have to use both compounds here.
They do.
So, they might run, at best, they would run 14 laps on the red and then finish it out 26 laps on the blacks, but I don't know if that's the, it's whoever's, I would assume Isaac, for instance, knows what the strategy is there. We'll keep an eye on him and what he does with that.
Well, the one to really watch is in P7, Nicholas Isidro. He went with the prime tire to start the race on, so he will be looking to try to pass as many of these guys as possible. Julian looking at the inside of turn 1 on Caleb Binsey there. He is side by side here. They come into, right there, pitched them really close to the wall. They're into the fountain area.
Unfortunately, I was going to say, we have Dakota in the pit lane. Extended stop. He might have had a tow or something.
That's not good.
Yeah.
He's had a really rough last couple of races.
I'll try to see if we can figure out what happened to him. He's exiting the pits now, but let's see what happened to him. Let's see here.
All right, now Caleb is actually...
traffic.
Caleb has experienced some lap traffic here.
Sorry, I was talking about Dakota. Yeah, actually, well, he was coming up on some lap. Yeah, there was a car coming out of the pits that collided with, and let's see.
Ooh, Julian on the outside this time of Caleb coming into turn 1. He's got to run.
Okay.
He's going to have the position. He's got the position, and so he's got the pulled off the pass successfully on Caleb, and is now pushed Caleb now down to 6th, who is directly now in front of Watson, who is about 5 seconds back from this battle.
And I'm back on that pass. So Dakota, he had a bobble in turn 1 with some lap traffic coming out of the pits. Damaged the car, had to tow, unfortunately. He will be a lap down now, and unless he's going to do some major fuel... No, he's on red tires again, so he's going to have to pit again. Yeah, so tough break for Dakota, our championship leader.
Well, since Julian put the pass on Caleb, he's actually kind of pulled away a little bit. And actually, Julian lost time there in the hairpin because he locked up one of his front tires. But before that period, he looked like he was kind of putting some time between himself and the two-time defending champion here. But now he's kind of setting sail for his teammate there in P3, or P2 actually, and that's Gavin.
We don't have any teammates here, Gary.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, we've got a car off in front of Gavin. That might have been... No, it wasn't Jasper. It kind of looked like Jasper's car, but it was a yellow.
That's I think that's the Wawa car.
It's got to be Donchak then.
Donchak, yeah.
Okay. Well, he was back going again. Not sure what when I got Donchak on the thing, my follow thing that shows information about the driver, it doesn't show anything on him. Yeah. Okay.
He's that shadow driver.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Caleb is, or Julian is gapping a little bit on Julian up there. Or sorry, Julian is gapping on Caleb.
Yeah, but Caleb's in no direct contact with Watson right now. Watson's back about 6 seconds. Caleb has Donchek and Cosgrove between himself and Watson. Watson just kind of be smart to kind of ride it out right now. And he's in an excellent position. He's got 3 seconds over Schlegel, and he's 7 seconds clear of Bincy. So he just wise of making laps and continuing to keep that gap behind him manageable.
He's got Donchek going off in front of him too. So.
Yeah, that's going to slow him down a little bit. Probably open the door a little bit for Schlegel to kind of close the distance.
You want to tell me, Gary, about this livery that Watson's running here?
Okay, so that is the Van Halen Frankenstrat pattern. Actually, it was going to be a car entered into this year's Indy 500. It was going to be for Andretti Motorsports. I'm not quite sure who was going to race it. However, fellow sim racer in a couple of other different leagues, I've never raced against him, but Justin Wilson ended up having money to bring his sponsor on board, and the Frankenstrat pattern got shelved in favor of his the money that he brought to the table. But that's exactly what it is. It was supposed to be in this year's 500, and one thing led to another, and it just didn't make the show because Stephen Wilson brought money there to the table, and that's the business of auto racing. That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about that story. Basically, Stephen Wilson, I think he was at some dinner party or something. As they do, they have dinner. Drivers need to meet a bunch of people, and there was
press on the flesh.
Yeah, and he said, "I'm going to put you in the Indy 500 or something." Some sponsor. It's like Lola. It has nothing to do with Lola cars because they don't exist anymore. But it's Lola something. I can't remember the sponsor name, but he said, "We're going to put you in that car." He did say something about next year too. We know how those kind of things go sometimes in racing. Sometimes deals evaporate. So we'll see whether it happens again. Isidro, so he's our test subject on lap speed. He's still running like a minute 11 on those black tires. So the red tires are way faster than those black tires. But
by at least 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Isaac is still turning 108 by himself and up front.
Yeah, so the setup we're running tonight is a Majors Garage setup over that you can get over there on Majors Garage, one of their baseline track setups that you can get over there for free. Check them out. They do a lot of it's actually Liam Quinn's the guy that makes those setups over there. We know Liam from another series we cover.
Yes, we do. Yeah, one of the ones that I cover.
That's right. Coming up.
That's right. Next week, Formula Indy Series going to be racing on Tuesday nights. You guys are going to start off at the Indianapolis Road Course,
just like we did the previous season.
And then I think round 2. Then you're going to move to Fontana Oval.
No.
I forget which. I can't look at the schedule again.
Our club is like midway through. It's like
midway through.
5,
okay.
So our one oval that we're on is midway. I'm looking for closest battle on the track. Holler has caught up to. I think Holler had some issues early on. He's caught up to Isidro. Isidro's on those black tires. Holler's on the red tires.
Yeah, but look who's right behind look who's right behind these two.
Is that Jasper?
No, that's Isaac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these guys are going to want to go and go quickly, and we are now 15 laps in, and at 3 seconds a lap difference after 15 laps, your leader is already on the back wing of the car, the first car with the prime tires.
Yeah, Isaac will be there in no time. As Gavin Sanders is in the pits. I don't know if this is scheduled because Julian Altena goes into second place. Caleb's going to jump up to third. Was there?
No, this is not scheduled. He is missing portion of a wing.
Yes, he is.
So he's going to come in. It's probably within the window.
He can drive the rest of the. This is in the window. If he changes the black tires, he could go all the way to the end. But I see. Okay, there
he's gone to the primes.
Yeah.
And got a new wing, and he's down on the way. So a little misfortune and a fortunate time, I guess.
What we want to see here. Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, it puts him in a position where he does not have to stop again.
What I'm curious is what Gavin can do on these black tires, because that'll be tell us what Isaac and Julian and Caleb and these top guys can run on these black tires.
He didn't lose a lot of time. I mean, he's only down the 6th spot. He came in P2. And everybody in front of him still has the pit.
Looking back at Dakota, he's got lap traffic ahead of him. He's in 11th. I think he can still scrounge together a top 10 out of this whole thing.
Well, these street courses are pretty brutal with attrition and concrete canyons, no runoff area. You use that fast repair early, and then you bump into the wall again, and you don't have it there, and you're done for the day. All it takes is a couple cars to make a couple of mistakes in front of him, and all of a sudden he's bumped up into the middle of the top 10, and actually kind of rescues what kind of started off to be a bad day.
That's right, yeah. So that'll right now put Watson up to P4 as well. We'll just start to see what kind of laps Gavin can do on these primary tires.
Isaac is so aggressive around that hairpin. He's making up so much time there on other cars. He does not leave much room between himself and the wall when he makes that turn.
Well, we've seen some real-life IndyCar drivers that, they live on the edge and just take a little bit too much out of those inside barriers as well as the outside ones.
Well, you live by the sword and you die by the sword, I think. That's what the saying is there.
Apex Sage Coaching, the sponsor on Isaac's car here, as Isaac's coming up to he hasn't yet put Holler a lap down. It doesn't appear. I think that's Holler up there. Yes.
Holler was on the radio there letting Isaac know when he's ready to get in a position to pass him, to let him know. So he's definitely watching and he takes a wide hairpin there to kind of allow Isaac to close in a little bit. But he's definitely aware by watching. He's okay, so he's saying after turn 5, he's going to try to put a move on if he's in the neighborhood there. So watch this battle for a lap. Unfortunately, it's going to be for a lap position, but we'll see.
And that was Donchek coming out. Isaac is around him.
That pit out here is extremely dangerous.
Not only have you actually driven here, Gary?
Yeah. Okay, I'm not a fan, but
not only is it like the worst placement, it has a huge bump there.
Yeah.
So it's just horrible. It's and you're on cold tires, and it's just awful. Yeah. So it's
and you really have to crank the wheel. I mean, it's really a it's almost it is a 90-degree turn anyways, but it's really more than a 90-degree turn because you're kind of going past the point where you normally would turn in because you're so far to the right there.
And if you cut it even a little bit on that exit, you get a slowdown penalty.
Oh yeah, it's true. If you cut that, it looks like Watson is missing a couple of front wings.
Let's see, where is Watson?
Kenny Holler's going to let Isaac go here on the inside in turn 1 and makes the pass cleanly. So Watson might have had an issue. There he is in his stall, gets a new front wings.
Gets a reset, I'm assuming. So that's tricky, though, because if it's just a front wing, I don't know. I don't think I would have used a fast repair if it was just the front wing. I would have saved it. I would have quickly turned it off, and I'd have saved it just in case. You never know. I'm
assuming he went with the fast repair just based upon how quickly it changed itself.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. These even in real life, these teams can put on a new front wing rather quickly, and it's just a series of about 4 quick connect screws, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm showing the pit stop for Watson as a 8.8. If that was a non-fast repair, that would have been a 5-second additional to that, so it would have been a 13, 14-second stop. So he's used up his fast repair there.
And Gavin Sanders with the fastest stop so far on pit road with an 8 flat, but I think a lot of that because he came in early and had didn't have to fill that tank as much.
Good mentioning Gavin, though, because he is on these primary tires, primary blacks, and he did a 109 last lap, so that's fast. And Isaac up there, his last lap
109.4.
109.4. So actually, the primaries at this point anyway are faster. We'll see. I mean, earlier on in the run, Isaac was running 108 flat, so he was a second faster than Gavin at the moment.
Okay, so the leader just declared that he's going to pit in here.
Okay.
So we will see the leader make a dive to pit road very, very shortly now. Right
There
now,
he
as a matter of
goes.
fact.
We'll see if Julian here in P2 follows him or not.
Very awkward in pit road as well.
Oh, yeah. I thought Julian was thinking about it, but he did not. Caleb does not either. If you're Caleb back there, you might want to run as long as possible just to get that extra bonus point for leading a lap.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah. Every point matters.
So Gavin just made his way around Alex Zimkowski and said thank you. So he is making his way still through traffic, and he is going to be putting down a lap of. Let's see it come through here. Not showed up yet.
Mine said 109.
There it is, a 109.2.
Yeah.
So not bad, really. Push to pass wise, Julian still has 7. Caleb still has 9. Nicholas Isidro still has 10. In fact, Christian Jasper 10, Cosgrove 10, Donchak 10. No one has really used theirs up. I think the biggest users are down to, well, here's actually Dakota down to 5.
Yeah, he can just use them up at this point. So Isidro's on pit lane. He's our kind of highest running car that on the first stint ran the primary black tires. So he's going to run red tires till the end of this race. And we're halfway through this thing.
Yeah, we are halfway through. And Isidro P7 started, he gained 6 spots.
Yeah.
So he did an all right job.
Like he started, I don't know if this is entirely accurate. It says 13th on my information because I missed out on qualifying there because of some technical issues. But if you're starting back there, then starting with those primary tires is a good strategy.
That's the smart strategy right there.
Exactly. And I was actually thinking back, so Isidro in a previous road course that we ran, I think he had the fastest lap. Where was it? Where was our last road course? Sebring, probably. I think he had the fastest lap because he had saved a bunch of push to pass for the final couple laps, and so he had that fastest lap.
I believe that's called the Red Bull strategy now. I think is what they call it. Your leader is in, by the way, Julian, and Caleb is staying out, so he is going to try to get that point, which is exactly what you thought he would do. So good call on you.
Well, he's running the race for his car, so. So Caleb will get that lap led. He just has to keep it clean to the end of the race here. Every point matters in the run to the championship here. We're in race 9. So next week, where are we going next week? I think you said Auto Club earlier. We might be going Auto Club. Let's see. Yeah, so next race here in RIL is Auto Club. So
that's going to be a fun one. We're going to see high speeds, drafting, I mean, you name it. We might have to see a big one. We don't know. Hopefully not, but it should be a fun one. My last couple of races there, if I wasn't run over by somebody while I was trying to come up to speed from coming out of the pits, it was my own mistake that cost me positions in the race. But every time I'm there, I have a fun time. It's a great track, extremely bumpy though, but a great track to have a fun time driving around and getting the draft and tearing it up with some people.
Well, unfortunately, in real life, they're taking care of those bumpy issues by bulldozing the track. So, luckily,
yeah, thank you, NASCAR. Once again, I say it all the time. We're in a NASCAR world, and we're just living in it.
That's right. Yeah. So Isaac has retaken the lead. Gavin is in P2. Caleb hit the pit lane. He's coming out. Julian's going to go by him. Everybody in the top 4 is going to be on these. Oh, we've got contact. Who was that? It wasn't Simkowski. Several other cars. Simkowski definitely. He's damaged. Dakota's coming up on this.
Ooh, yeah, Zimkowski is damaged to the point he can't turn the car. Yeah, and he's in the fountain area, and he's doing the wise bit of punching out right there while a bunch of cars come up on him. So he's going to do a reset toe and repair there, but unfortunately that's going to cost him some big-time track position.
But yeah, I'm going to get a replay of this. It might have included Isidro on there, but I'm not seeing him lose much here, so...
Christian Jasper coming in this time around. He had a bit earlier due to an incident, so he was slightly off schedule, and this will be his last pit stop to bring him to the end.
Isidro looked inside into turn 1 on Simkowski. There was contact. There was also a car coming out of the pits. I'm not sure who it was, but yeah, Simkowski got the worst of that. Unfortunately, in terms of racing on track, we're really spread out. There aren't really any battles at the moment. Like, there will be towards the end of the race, I'm assuming, as Tyre's strategy collides with one another, really. So Holler here, has he completed his required primary tire yet? Or is
he has Holler? Yes, he has actually. He pitted on lap 7, and he was on the soft tires, I believe, and now he is on the prime, if I understand that correctly. So he has made his change.
He's on the
he started on the primes, and now he's on the soft. So he has fulfilled his mandatory tire change, compound change.
Dakota's coming. Okay, Holler's hitting the pit lane. I think that he pit too early to make it to the end of the race.
He did. I think he had some damage, and he was much like Jasper, where he had to pit a little bit early to get the things fixed, and put him out of cycle where he had to make an extra stop.
That's like, I think Dakota, he'll have to pit again, but at the same time, there's a chance maybe he's dropped it down into Fuel Mode 5, although I know Fuel Mode 5 didn't do him very well in a
I don't know how much actually is going to save him, though.
Yeah, I don't either. He pit at lap 9, I think.
Yeah, Dakota pitted actually at lap 8, according to my stats. And he went 7 laps on that first stint, 18 on his current stint.
If he's burning up his fuel like usual, he'll make it to about lap 35 and have to pit with about 5 laps. I don't know if I'm calculating this correctly, but with a few laps to go anyway. But we'll keep an eye on this. And actually, no, he has to pit again because he has not complied with the tire requirements. So,
right, he is currently showing soft as his tire choices.
Yeah, so
his first 2 stops.
Need to switch to blacks at the end of the race, I guess.
So Isaac has a 10-second lead over Gavin Sanders. Gavin Sanders 5 seconds over Julian Altena. And Julian 5 seconds over Caleb Bency.
Caleb is trying to get around, I believe. Okay, it's Watson who's ahead of him a lap. Yeah, it's a lap down. So literally, we only have 4 cars on the lead lap here. So
yes,
a lot of cushion.
Actually, Holler is, I think, the very extreme tail end. I think. Could be wrong. No, he's actually showing
a lap down.
Yeah.
Since his pit. Watson yields to Bency.
So Watson lost a position due to his unfortunately, the incident he had where he had to get those wings replaced. But he was spent most of the start of the first race, or first portion of the race, in fifth place. So he's only down really kind of a position where he was kind of hovering at the start. So a net gain of or a net loss of 1 is not too bad at this point in time for this guy who's kind of keeping pace in the championship. And he's looking to probably gain some ground on Dakota, but in the process, lose some ground to Caleb, probably, depending on how things shake out.
I think he'll still maintain second place in points, but Caleb will be gaining some ground then as we go into the final 3 races. It's going to be close. We've got Auto Club and then Spa. And then, as we always have here in the RIL, we're going to finish it up in Gateway. And I kind of feel like there's no driver that is confident at Gateway in the IndyCar, I don't think. Maybe Alex Van de Zandt.
I don't want to. I actually, I hate that track really, but it has 2 of my best results at it. And it seems to work well for me for some reason. So I don't mind the place necessarily. I did say I hate it, but I'm just not a. It's a lot of work. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It agrees with my driving style, but it's a lot of work. And I know Alex Van de Zandt's extremely good there. But you're right. Most people do not like the place at all.
It has a lot of attrition usually, and you can get caught up in somebody's stuff that you, really.
I think last season we saw a major pileup in turns 3 and 4 that caught a lot of cars, and really there's just very little places to go there when that happens. And of course, if there's a pileup on the main straight, which we've actually seen in real life, that there's walls on both sides and cars just kind of ping pong back and forth. And other than maybe there's a bit of a runoff inside of turn 2 where some cars can spin down into the grass. But that's about it. There's not very many places for a car to escape once it hits the wall there.
It's kind of a weird track, and talking iRacing specifically, because you can have those spins off of turn 2, say, and you will not get a caution. So, so that's kind of an interesting thing there.
It's kind of like sometimes where you see in Indianapolis where a car spins to the inside, and then if they go and do a reset really quick, you'll probably not see it.
There's really kind of all the tracks do these days in iRacing. It's just Gateway's a little bit worse than the others. Even in Iowa, so for instance, last Saturday, Gary, we had a particular driver who kept driving through the, I don't know if they call that the tri-oval when it's like that. What do they call that? Like, the front straightaway anyway.
I mean, I call it the tri-oval area, especially the way that it's shaped with that D shape. So, yeah.
So, anyway, we had a driver running through there several times during the race. Never had a caution. So, just, the detection thing. About 9 months ago, the computer in iRacing was updated to not throw as many cautions as it used to. Although Gateway was always bad. Even before that update, but now all the tracks are kind of like that. If you spin off, there will be no caution. So, as we say that, I think it was Jasper into the tire barrier. That is, I believe, into turn 5, and he's going to have to come in for a new front wing. That could be good news for Dakota, because Dakota's going to have to stop here into the end of the race, and
I'll keep him in the top 10 maybe.
Yeah, it could keep him in the top 10, because he's probably going to drop back. Although he's 1 lap down, and like Schlegel here, I don't know how far the difference is, but he's 2 laps down.
Okay, there's Christian Jasper said that he's coming in this time, so he's still rolling.
Yeah.
But 8 laps to go right now for Isaac, who has still maintaining a steady 10-second lead over Gavin Sanders, and then another 5 seconds back to Julian, and now 7 seconds back to Caleb. And those are the remaining cars on the lead lap.
Well, that's right. We had Isidro has also had an issue. I don't know if he had an extended pit stop.
Yeah, he's currently on pit road. He's been there for about 107, 108 seconds, so he had some issue. Oh, the car spins in front of the leader. The leader collects the car. That's Simkowski, and that's going to cost. And Haller comes through. He manages to get his lap back. But that is going to be damage for the leader. The leader has a partial wing right now. Is he just going to keep going? He might just decide to keep going and try to rough it out.
I think, you can do that here. On the street course.
Now, is he going to get a meatball?
True. Yeah, there could be that.
If he gets the meatball, then he'll have to stop. But that was Zimkowski right in front of the leader, and the leader the leader was on the brakes. He was trying to avoid it.
Let's get.
And now Haller moves over, lets the leader on through.
Yeah.
Sanders has now cut the lead down to 2.2 seconds.
Yeah, so this is gonna be really interesting. But I want to see a replay of this. This is into, I think it's turn 9. Simkowski just got looped around, and
yep.
So tough break there. Oh boy.
So Sanders now smells blood in the water, got it down to 1.7 seconds. He's on push to pass right now as they're coming down to turn 9, and now he's got it cut to 1.5 seconds.
We go onboard. I haven't done any onboard here today.
The portion right here where they're going through that kind of not a high speed corner, but is a corner where they can carry some speed through before they get into that hairpin. He lost some time there. Now Sanders 1.1 seconds as they're coming down the main straight. Now the main straight, he should be able to pull away some because there's less drag on that car.
But when you get down and you have to throw out the anchor in turn 1, it won't be good. With that said, over at Detroit, I ran a race in another league once, and I had a broken front wing, and I set the fastest lap with that broken front wing. So street courses are a little weird like that.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that Isaac has been in a race and had a damaged wing and didn't know about it. I'm sure he knows about this one, but in a race in another league that we were in at Road Atlanta, he ended up damaging the wing coming down off that last turn onto the main straight. There's just a natural bump that these cars don't agree with, and it caused damage on his wing. And when we asked him in the post-race interview, did you have a damaged wing? He goes, what damaged wing?
I think here he can feel that he has damage. He probably.
Isidro is sideways coming off the hairpin there, and here come the leaders.
Yep.
Isaac is on push to pass. 5 to go. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No,
just so much action.
So the lap before this one, Gavin was about 1.5 seconds faster, or a second faster than Isaac. That last lap was 0.5 seconds. So, he's faster. Whether he can get around him in the next 5 laps, that's another story. But this is kind of what I mentioned. I said, as this race gets down, I think we're going to get some closer battles as the race came down, and that's proving true. So yeah, I would assume Isaac knows that he has damage on his front wing, but he probably doesn't know that he's completely missing, that he's the one-winged angel, like you say, Gary.
Well, and these guys are kind of corporate teammates from another league, and I know they're in the same radio net talking to each other, so I'm sure whenever they do get a chance to get in direct contact, which they are there now, that they're going to make this as clean as possible. I can't imagine each one trying to play dirty with the other, especially the fact that they're in cooperation with each other.
Yep.
But we got 4 to go now as they cross the start-finish line.
Back in 8th position. So Dakota has stopped for his final tires. He's on the black tires now, primaries. He has caught up to Hannes Schlegel for that 7th position. So he's probably wanting to get around the, Schlegel there.
Here comes Gavin. Gavin's got a run. He's going to get him here into turn 6. He's got a good run on him. Looks like he's going to try to set him up into 8 and possibly just stay close to trying to pull off the pass at 9. We'll see. He's right in direct contact. Oh, he got a good run off that corner.
Yeah, this is kind of where he's going to have to make this happen. And Isaac goes defensive.
Isaac goes very defensive there. They break. Look at those tires.
Contact.
Oh! And there's contact. That is it for Isaac, or it for Gavin. Gavin is in.
And,
that is.
Oh boy, Julian almost ran into that. Let's see if Kayla's plenty back from that.
And he toes right away.
Yeah, wow. Wow, a lot.
Still 3 laps to go, and Julian's still there. And
I'm going to get a replay of this contact.
I don't know how much damage Isaac has at this point now. That time by Julian wasn't that much faster.
Side by side, and just a bobble and right into the barrier. Same place that Isaac had the issues previously in the race.
Yeah, well, that's a dangerous corner. I mean, in the races where I've even seen this track go under full course caution, it's pretty much anywhere from that turn 9 through turn 11. Right there, that's kind of a dangerous area.
Mm-hmm. I think
Coming to 2 to go.
Gavin is actually done. He's got tires missing, so he is completely done.
Yeah, remember, I think he had to use that fast repair earlier in the race so he's not a full-time participant. So even though he does have a win this season in the series, and he was kind of up in the points for a while, but missed a couple races, not a full-time participant. So might as well just go ahead and put your car off to the side. Like Holler might have gotten into a situation with somebody.
No, that was he hit Gavin. He was kind of
okay.
He had just gone a lap down, kind of. But I'm looking at Dakota and Schlegel here. This is going to be for a top 5.
Yeah.
Through all that, Watson is up to 4th. And Dakota is going to get around.
Dakota's got the position and pulls it off.
Yeah. So that's heck of a recovery drive for Dakota there.
Watson just needs to keep it in place for another 2 more laps, and he's got himself yet another top 5. We talked to him earlier when he had that nice podium finish a couple races ago where he was really excited. Just, top 10s lead to top 5s, top 5s lead to top 10s, and it's kind of the plan he's been following all season long. He's got to win in his future at some point, just a matter of time.
This is the final lap here for Isaac Forrest. Julian has used up all of his push to pass. He is faster, but a little bit too late. He's brought it down to 4 seconds. But
it's not unless something happens here on this lap to Isaac. I don't see anything happening. Surprised there's not been a meatball here, but that's okay. That's even if the meatball did come out, he was inside of that 5-lap window, and if he was outside of that 5-lap window, he would have to make a stop. But if you get the meatball and you're within 5 laps of the finish, you don't have to stop, and you will not get penalized.
So this will be something different for everybody out here. We're going to have our winner cross the finish line with half of a front wing. Not sure if we've seen that here in the RIL before.
One Wing Angel wins.
There we go. Isaac Morris, our victor here, followed by Julian Altena. Gonna butcher
And
the
a great
name
point
now,
save
though.
for Caleb.
Yeah, this is a good point save for Caleb. Honestly, at the end of the day, though, it's actually a pretty good day for Dakota and James Watson as well. A recovery drive for Dakota there, coming back from that. Only 3 cars are podium finishers finishing on the lead lap here.
Yeah, rough race.
Yeah,
and it's they get around this road course pretty fast. It's about a minute per lap. So if you have any trouble, even taking a stop into the pit road, you can lose almost a lap.
Hey, so you're going to be broadcasting from here tomorrow night in the Turbo Series and the PM18s?
Yep. We'll see the PM18s here, and I think we might see a little bit more of the same. Hopefully not too much, but we got a nice points battle shaping up between Alex Vanasant, and we got some other guys that have been kind of at the top all season long that are now kind of getting some competition, and we'll see what happens with the Daredevil series here tomorrow night. Join us same time, same channel, and it'll just be me.
That's right. I'll probably drive for a little bit in there, and then I'll call it a day at some point. I see Isaac here and waiting for interview, but he's still driving around on the track. Should we pull him up here?
If he's ready to go, let's bring him up.
Yeah. Well, let me set up one thing. Well, no, let's bring him up. Hey, Isaac, this is Matt and Gary up in the booth as you're doing your donuts here.
On race spot, a car being witnessed hitting a landmine, and first time a car wins with half a wing, and yeah. But yeah, it's quite weird. Alex and I were communicating, and he was like saying, you know, I'll let you pass whenever you need to go by, and I was like, you know, it's chill, I'm not pushing, like it's all good, and you know, and then literally 2 corners later, he spins out, and I try my best to avoid him, and literally the car just wouldn't go anywhere, so I was a little bit stuck, and then he decided it was the best thing to try and get the car moving again before he'd let me past, and then causes another incident with a guy behind. I don't know who it was that got caught.
Yeah,
Holler. Yeah. And so yeah, then I obviously the gap to Gavin closed up big time, and yeah, to try and fend him off with half a wing, but then coming to that incident between me and him, I saw he was on push to pass, so I pulled to the inside to let him by to so he could have the race in line, and hit the brakes, and I don't know what it was about my right front, it just started locking up, and I couldn't stop it from locking, yeah. And then we just made contact, and it seemed really violent when I looked back in my mirror because Gavin was doing somersaults on my screen. So I was just like, whoa, okay. And then, yeah, it was a bit of a weird race for sure. Definitely one to remember. But me and Gavin, oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was just saying, street courses can lead to, as we saw last weekend in Nashville, can lead to some kind of interesting races. Here, Long Beach, no different. So
yeah, and yeah, like me and Gavin in a voice chat together, and I apologized like severely to him, and I was trying to let him pass because I had damage, and I knew that he was going to pass me anyway. But it doesn't matter how much or how hard I defended, he was going to pass me. So I was going to let him pass, and yeah, I think it could have been a little bit of netcode involved as well, because for some reason when I do some league races, my connection isn't the best when I'm on an American server, so yeah, need to get that looked into. So yeah, it was a very interesting race.
Well, you got the pole. Had some technical difficulties on our end, where luckily we got back in and streaming right at the beginning of the race. But you led the most laps, got pole victory. You want to say anything about your sponsorship there on the side of the car, Apex Sage?
Yeah, I'd like to say a little something for sure. Yeah, so I'd obviously like to, you know, can I thank myself? You know, it's like, well, you know, I want to thank, you know, myself for Apex Age Coaching. I'm actually really enjoying doing this. The whole coaching, and not only am I like helping others, but I'm also like learning myself. I'm like learning new techniques to transfer information and help people get quicker in the IndyCar and other cars. And it's brilliant to keep helping people because you start to build your own little community, and you're always then invested in how other people are doing in league races or anything that we put the practice in for. So yeah, I'm just really happy to be doing it. I'm really happy to be helping people out when it comes to the IndyCar and the LMP2 as well. And give a shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast, and shout out to the guys at RIL for running the league. It was a fun race. I was debating whether to do it, and I was like, may as well. Be a bit of fun.
Did Dakota maybe convince you to do it?
Yes, he did. He actually sent me a message about 4 days ago being like, are you doing Long Beach? And I was like, I don't know if I will. And he's like, oh, come on. Like,
come on, man.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, I'll see what I'm doing Wednesday night. And actually my night freed up. So I was like, may as well. It'd be rude not to. So went for it.
Well, sounds good, Isaac. Good seeing you here on the broadcast, and you have a good week.
Yeah, you too, guys. You too.
Talk later, Isaac. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
So so our points leader is using strategy throughout the entire week in order to execute it during race day.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Let's bring. Well, I just went to the start of the race. We'll do this really quickly. Bring up Caleb here. Actually, bringing up Caleb, he finished third here. I'm not sure why I'm thinking to bring Caleb here for, but usually bring second place first. But I know he's got a lot to do, so we bring him up here instead. So
not bad for showing up at the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good run.
Good run, yeah.
Maybe you wanted to get that top step of the podium, but getting ahead of Dakota, he had some tough luck in this race. As did Gavin Sanders. But tell us about your race.
Yeah, so with not a lot of practice, I felt pretty decent. I knew I had 1 lap speed, which I got a pretty good spot for qualifying, starting P2, but knew the long run pace wasn't very good because I really didn't know the limits of the tires over, 20 some laps. So just tried to go my own pace, not do something stupid to throw it away and stuff. So I ended with 0x in the podium. So, that's basically the goal here. So.
Well, especially with Long Beach and how attrition can work here. Anytime you can survive and finish on the podium is a good day. I know you're kind of starting up front with a couple non-regulars. Did that impact the way that you race them when they come alongside you? It was like, I'm just going to let them go, and I'm just going to kind of finish best in class. And if something happens to them, I'll just take advantage of it. Other than that, I'm just going to kind of play it safe. Did that cross your mind at all, or were you just racing them as hard as you were at anybody else?
No, that was definitely the case. Okay. Like I said, I didn't really know the limit over a long run, what the tires would do. So I wasn't going to try to kill myself trying to keep Gavin behind or something. He got to run. I didn't even use push to pass, let him at the inside. Try to fight Julian a little more, but he made a late dive and I would have normally probably tried to chop him off, but gave him extra room because I just didn't want anything stupid to happen. So definitely took that into consideration. So again, ended up with a P3, which isn't bad. So obviously you want to be a little faster on pace, but all things considered, I'm pretty happy with that.
You can basically consider it a win. It's best in class. All the regular drivers that showed up, you did finish ahead of all of them. So all things considered, not a bad day, I don't think.
No, not bad. But obviously, seeing the qualifying pace and then not being able to really replicate that over a long stint, it was always kind of hard, I guess. But overall, it just went to what I was comfortable with, and I guess have to be content with that.
Well, the other thing I was going to say was, I'm not even sure what I was going to say because I think Gary covered it. But any sponsor shout outs, any thoughts about Nashville this past weekend? I know you were spending some time down there. He sponsors family. Anything watching here tonight?
Yeah, so first of all, Nashville was definitely a cool event. Been lucky enough to go to, that was my third IndyCar race this year, so definitely completely different from Indy or Mid Ohio or anything. It was completely its own environment, own event type thing, but it was really cool. Obviously, the first half of that race was little hard.
Do you think they'll have to make some changes in that track a little bit to make it a little bit more racer friendly?
I mean, you put the restart on the backstretch, and you really don't have any of these issues. So, if anything, maybe smoothing out the downhill, braking into turn 4, because that was causing some issues. But outside of those two, I really don't think it needs much work. But yeah, the last half was awesome. So, yeah, in terms of this, obviously you guys always put on a good show for Race First, and then funandfanny.com. Check out them as always for custom body care, and thanks to anyone who's watching. I'm not really sure who is tonight, but I know there's probably some family and friends who are. So thanks to you guys as always, and glad to get another podium.
All right. Well, we'll see you back next week. We're going to be at Auto Club. Also, Formula Indy Series is going to be starting at the Indianapolis Road Course next Tuesday. So we're going to be seeing a lot of you next week here on the Race First channel.
Yeah, going to be a busy week, but looking forward to it.
All right. Take care, Caleb.
Thanks, you too.
All right. We'll get Julian up here.
Oh, I'm sure he's just itching to be on.
I'm surprised.
Come on, man. I wanted the booth, man.
All right, we've got Big Al Tenna here in the booth.
Hello.
Copy there, Julian.
Yes.
How is it going? It's been a little while since we talked to you on the Race First broadcast booth, but tell us about your race.
Well, obviously that's because you don't like me that much, do you? No, just joking. But this race, honestly, one of my best performances in a long time. Didn't really practice at all. Did one race at Long Beach this morning before I went to bed. Yes, I have a messed up sleeping pattern, but I did one 10-lap race in a hosted session with a different setup. So that's, I guess, what was my practice. But I was just going into this race trying to drive my own pace, which I did. And it turned out to be pretty decent in practice. I was keeping up with Gavin pretty nicely. Isaac was a little bit too quick, but not too far off him as well. So I was really happy about that. And in going into the race, I was just thinking all the time, don't make a stupid mistake. Because I gave myself the nickname Bin Altena. So didn't want to do that at all, considering the bumps around this place. But I had a really nice fight with Caleb there for P2. Managed to pass him, I don't know what lap it was anymore exactly, maybe lap 8 or something, but very interesting battle there. I said over the voice chat as well, I'll give you points for getting my heart rate up in that battle, because that was a bit scary there, but overall really happy about this. Very consistent pace as well, so just for me personally, on my own limits, a perfect race.
So I'm going to stir the pot a little bit here. And so what do you think about that contact between Gavin and Isaac?
What do I say now?
That's what I'm putting you on the spot.
Just say it was unfortunate.
Well, of course it was very unfortunate, but that's probably not what you're trying to get out of me. But I'll leave that for Gavin and Isaac to discuss. Definitely wasn't ideal to say the least.
You could use the NASCAR term, although they probably changed it these days, but they used to always just say, it's one of those racing things.
Oh, just one of them racing things.
Oh, that annoys me all the time. You get me angry just by saying that.
So
I hate it too.
There's a few other leagues as well, where mainly IndyCar leagues and iRacing, they just say, oh, well, neither guy wanted to give an inch. Yeah. Okay, so that doesn't mean it's okay to cause an incident.
Well, good run here, coming in after a few races. I knew that you, had run some Long Beach earlier in the day, or yesterday, or whatever it might have been. So I think I'm the one that mentioned to you to run this race. So I'll take some credit for that podium finish.
Now that I remember, yes, you were one of them. There was actually another league that I was going to race in, but then Gavin said, like, hey, Oh, well, I saw something, and then Gavin and I were talking about this, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just run Long Beach instead then. So yeah.
Long
Both
Beach
of you.
Well, I guess both races were in California, but yeah, Long Beach, you want to have, you can run Auto Club anytime you want. Long Beach is special, so good run here tonight. Shout outs to sponsors. Obviously, that's on the side of your car.
Well, it's mostly Gavin stuff, so. But the main thing, Velocity Online Racing is my own league. We recently changed up a few things. We now have 2 IndyCar leagues, one for Europeans, for people in Europe. And North America is the main series. Both series race on Saturdays. The European side of things races at 8 p.m. European time, Central that is. And the North American side races at 7 p.m. Eastern US time. So check it out. VelocityOnlineRacing.com is where you can find the Discord invite links, and also follow us on Twitter at VelocityOR. We are not really sure about the F1 side of things, which we also have, but we hope to announce some stuff about that soon on Twitter. So yeah, check that out as well. Want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, Christopher Kresge for running this league, and thanks to iRacing for actually getting Long Beach on the surface.
Yeah, it'll be 10 years before Nashville comes on the service. I know everybody wants that, but unless NASCAR goes there. So,
If NASCAR goes there, then of course
it'll be scanned yesterday. So
yeah.
It already took them 4 years to rescan Indy, so
it'll be scanned yesterday and for sale tomorrow.
That's right. It's been so in 2014 is when they did the Indy reconfigure for the road course, and it's being scanned as we speak apparently. So it took them 7 years or something like that.
Yeah, I believe the iRacing truck has been spotted in the local area. So their hope springs eternal, but I'm not holding my breath then.
All right, well, you take care, Julian, and we'll see you a couple weeks in VOR.
Yes, thank you guys.
Yep.
Congrats, Julian. See ya.
Okay, well, let's go through our final results here, and I'm going to play a bunch of Schaeffer's Oil commercials at the end of this broadcast, because we didn't get to thank them enough during this one. But we have Isaac Morris taking the top step of the podium, Julian Altina in second, Caleb Bensi P3. We're going to have to see where the points line up and all that, but basically our top 3 in points are finishing.
While you sit there and talk, I'll see if they might have possibly updated the points.
Yeah. Top 3 in points are scattered amongst 3rd, 4th, and 5th. James Watson P4, Dakota DeMade P5, Hannes Schlegel P6. For some reason, Gavin Sanders is showing P10 next. That's incorrect. Something messed up here. Anyway,
I got 7. Gavin Sanders in P7, yeah.
Oh, he is. It's saying 10th on what I've got here. So he is 7th. Isidro is 8th. Cosgrove 9th. Simkowski 10th. Holer 11th. Jasper, I think that Jasper's going to be kicking himself a little bit. He's been really fast on these street course, road course, and I know he's going to want to have a better result than that. Peter Donchak, P13, Kresge 14th, Wheeler P15, and let me get to the bottom 3, Lewis Woodall, Stephen Ritters, and Joseph DeCiro. So
we do have updated points already over in Sim Racer Hub. Dakota still leads. He has a 48-point margin over James Watson. James Watson has a 20-point margin over Caleb Bensi. Michael Haller is in P4. Nicholas Isidro P5. Christian Jasper in 6th. Zimkowski in 7th. Schlegel in 8th. He gained 2 spots. Lucas Santos didn't make the race. He lost 2 spots. He's in 9th. And Christopher Albee, who finished on the podium last race, didn't show up tonight, unfortunately. We missed our favorite car, down a spot in 10th. But that is your top 10 in the points championship with still 3 races to go, 2 ovals and a road course. And over on the Daredevil side, join me tomorrow night. Wes Shire currently leads the points. He has a 20-point lead over Alex Van de Sant. Currently also involved in the points battle here is James Curtis, Simon Fell, Michael Janey, all there in the top 5. Again, 4 races ago, starting with Long Beach tomorrow, and a very similar strategy where they'll have another road course and 2 more ovals to finish out their season. So a great championship shaping up over on the Daredevil Turbo Series. Catch us tomorrow night here on Raceverse. Same time, same channel, just me and the PM18s at Long Beach.
Yep, and so we're going to have our, both in this series and over in Turbo, we're going to have our last 3 races of the season. We're going to run out till the end of September, to the end of August and the first week of September. And that'll be all here on Race First. But thanks for everybody for watching. Thanks for, Christopher Kresge for running this league. Thanks for Schaeffer's Oil for sponsoring this one. Daredevil Brewing for sponsoring the Turbo. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Some of you tomorrow. Some of you will see next week. So take care.
Good night.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's Oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's Oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's Oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us some support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 Dirt Late model. I've been using Schaeffer's Oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for Dirt Late model racing.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
For generations, fans of IndyCar could only dream of stepping into the cockpit and feeling the rush of going wheel to wheel at over 200 miles per hour. Thanks to the latest in sim racing technology, we can get one step closer. Talented, fearless drivers battle it out in virtual race cars to claim supremacy at some of the world's most demanding tracks. This is the RIL, Schaeffer's IndyCar Series, presented by Race First.